of the red to the sky. Hey,
love that song.
Love this.
Song.
You gotta be. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be.
I think every Queens girl loves this song.
Oh, was it popular when you were teaching there?
They use it at graduation for one of the candlelight things.
It's such a
Pick
good
up all
tune.
the Queens girls. Yeah.
It's such a
I
good
love it. And it's such a motivation. So I see it as like one of those motivational songs, like go out into the world, ladies.
Spread your wings and fly.
Spread your wings and fly, indeed.
Yeah,
so it means something different to me. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how, as much as we get up excited for every day and we're full of purpose and passion, there is only one inevitable in this thing that we now call existence.
Yeah.
And it is that one day our eyes must close.
We are mortals, so we are defined by death.
That's right.
Yeah, we're defined. So we have to make use of the day, live the day. Our word of the day today is magnanimous. It means generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or less powerful person. I learned the word magnanimous in debating, because you're supposed to be magnanimous in both victory and defeat. Yeah. So magnanimous, she should be magnanimous in victory. There it is. And so
I feel like maybe this is a little lesson for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to admit that
you're not magnanimous when you win. No.
I love it. Oh man, and I feel like maybe my husband would really like me to be magnanimous when it comes to our Scrabble game. So, but it feels so good, Dennis.
I try to be magnanimous, and I think sometimes it's not like a false humility. Oh, thank you. That's not Yendi. Yeah, gotcha. Good morning to TK, who has the headline.
Great morning. Good morning. You guys are looking sharp this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How are you? Have a little buzz,
Yeah, all right.
All right, let's jump into what's been happening in the headlines. Iranian President and Minister of Foreign Affairs died in helicopter crash. Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi is believed dead after no survivors were found at the crash site of the helicopter carrying him, according to Iranian state news channel IRNN.
I mean, this is a major international story that we are continuing to track, of course. Locally, you can stay tuned to CVM for updates on this matter. But, I mean, this is very significant in terms of, not just in terms of the internal dynamics of Iran, but in the Middle Eastern politics in general. We were discussing it earlier this morning, about the hardline positions that he has taken internally, but also his position on Israel versus Palestine that he just declared. And so now, as a key ally of one side is gone, what kind of a vacuum does that create in the space?
And it does pose question marks. I mean, there are massive questions that are happening surrounding this. I mean, one, if the weather conditions were as such, why would the helicopter have even taken off? And then two, there are people who are legitimately saying, is this even a weather scenario? Like, is this more than we are believed or more than is being reported at the moment? Obviously, investigations will have to continue, but there are a lot of people that are giving this a side eye.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. And I mean, the truth is that, I mean, there are persons I've seen who are making suggestions, casting aspersions in the direction of one particular Middle Eastern nation that I won't call the name. But, I mean, you could just as easily cast aspersions in the same way internally within the very strong hardline politics of the Middle East in terms of the situation Iran.
Well, born and raised, in St. Anne, lived formative years in Green Park, in Trelawney, because that's where Daddy was. After I left Bible school, Mommy was at, St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Then we moved to Bridgeport before Cactus was Cactus, right on Park Drive. So I remember that. Then after that, Ensom City, and that's where, most of my life was, from Ensom, Spanstone, primary school, St. Catherine I, then on to UWI. Then after that, doing stints working at UWI, then took a scholarship to the US to complete terminal degree, and that was that, to be very honest.
What was the thing that inspired you to focus on the black father, the immigrant father?
My father.
Yeah.
To be very honest, most of the work, when you come to the US and you're doing work on black fathers, most of it is very negative.
Yes.
And that's because it has a lens through which to look at the African American father. But you have a whole lot of immigrant black fathers, right? And my father was never that type that they had in any of the studies that they did.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, this is something that I want to pursue. Also, there was nothing about me, because while I was there, I got married and had my children, and nothing there spoke to me in terms of what they were talking about. It wasn't me. So that led me down that path to kind of start teasing the nuances, because when it's a black father, everybody just lumps African American, immigrant.
Right,
Everybody gets lumped, but we're not homogeneous. We're not all the same. So that's what led me to doing that.
Don't miss it. New Budget Supplies pre-Labor Day massive yard sale. 5 crazy days.
New Budget gone crazy.
May 17 to 22.
Yes, boy.
Clearance on old or damaged stock up to 50% off. Including lumber, doors, toilets, drywalls, PVC pipes, and clearance on broken tiles.
I want some of that.
We've got specials on paints, film face ply, zinc, and so much more.
I want that too.
You can't afford to miss this crazy yard sale.
That New Budget do it again.
Hi, I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy John Mark Wigan, host on the show Holy Road. Listen, people need to know what's happening in the churches and in ministry in all of Jamaica. It's an absolute blessing. We're really excited to share this.
Tune in to CVM See It Happen.
With a chance. Jamaica! Jamaicans draw first blood. Damari Gray scores! Kel Antonio, and it's a goal!
And the Reggae Boys take the lead.
And Jamaica puts this one on ice.
You mentioned that this will be the third one that you'll be issuing. I think we have a guest that we need to have join us to receive this wonderful. I'm absolutely tickled by this. It is such a true blessing. I feel like we need to make a round of applause. Make some noise, Nighty Boy!
All right.
How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Great to have
Well, first
you.
of all, congratulations on your degree.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And so, well, first of all, I'll hand it over to you. Give you the honor of making a presentation.
Right, so we from the RGD would like to issue to Mr. Hector a copy of his birth certificate,
Yes.
which is in Braille. So,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well done. Oh, I love this.
Let me look at it.
Look at it.
Them spell your name right?
No, wait till the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them get your date of birth right?
Certificate of birth, registration number, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, man, everything.
Everything right.
What does it feel like, Niger Boy, to have your birth certificate in a way that you can experience it and read it?
It's a phenomenal feeling. A step like this is huge. Now this, to me, is what you define as inclusivity.
Yes.
Where you have, another community being able to access, pertinent information such as this. Because, I never thought a day would come when I'd be receiving a certificate of birth in Braille. Allah, look at my age paper, guys.
So I was born at the Spanish Town Hospital.
Yeah.
So it was, for me, an immense sense of pride to be able to announce that we are going to do major upgrade work to the Spanish Town Hospital. Spanish Town is a place that's very near and dear to my heart. But over the decades, many, many decades, it is the old capital that we have not invested in. And it is truly in a state where greater investment is needed. So I'm from Spanish Town.
Yeah.
And I will be paying greater attention to ensuring that there is investment in Spanish Town. So far we have two major investment projects in Spanish Town. One is water, and one is in health. I went to St. Catherine High School. I owe so much to that school. I went to Spanish Town Primary before, and I owe so much to them as well. But to St. Catherine High School, that's where my formative years were. My teachers were excellent. I lived on Cumberland Road, which is just near to the Grassyard Market. I attended the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and then I lived in Ensom City. It's a newly developed scheme. That was a wonderful time in my life. Met many great friends. It was what you would call an aspirational community. The people who lived there were all trying to pursue, if you want to call it, the middle-class dream, owning your home, getting your children into high school and university. It was quite aspirational, and I grew up in the period of the 80s. So that helped to form my political outlook. And then from there, went on to the University of the West Indies. I taught for a year after doing my A-levels. I taught for a year at St. Catherine High School. And then I went on to the University of the West Indies, participated in student government and in student life there. I lived on Hall, I lived on Chancellor Hall. And that was another formative experience. You could say I lived the Jamaican experience. And I don't consider myself coming from a rich background. I came from humble beginnings, humble circumstances, single parent household, myself and my sister and my mother, and put it to you this way, the struggle was real. I don't use that, however, as an excuse. I tend to want to say to people, embrace your struggles. Whatever is thrown at you in life, it is to make you stronger. Don't run away from it. Embrace it. Let me say this as a kind of precursor to answering you. I've tried not to say too much on the constitutional reform issues because there is a strategy to literally take all my statements and turn them into political fodder. And I didn't want anything that I said to be used as an excuse not to proceed, because we got the sense that people were looking for excuses not to proceed with the constitutional reform. So I deliberately, totally stayed away from it. So even though I am going to be very careful and guarded, limited in any statement that I make on this matter of the dual citizenship, except what I've already said, which I was very clear in statements made when I was leader of government business in the parliament over a decade ago, that I believe that the Jamaican diaspora is much bigger than our Commonwealth, and that the Jamaican Commonwealth is our diaspora wherever they are, and that we should allow persons with Jamaican citizenship to be able to serve Jamaicans in our parliament politically. So for me, it doesn't matter what other citizenship you have, once you swear allegiance, being a Jamaican citizen, to Jamaica. That would be my stated position. The other thing I would say is that to be the ultimate leader of a country, to be the ultimate executive leader of the country, you should have no other citizenship. There should be no question by your citizens that you lead, that you have somehow split loyalties, that you have a parachute should in case anything go wrong, that you may not be subject to the full force of the laws of the country that you serve because you are a citizen of another country. you could always find a way out. So, and I think that is important. I think in the minds of every Jamaican, the question would be, is the leader of your country fully, wholly and solely committed to your best interest? And there is no other loyalty or interest drawing on the decisions that they make.
On this week's episode of Cooking with Love, this you don't want to miss. So Jamil Foster is here.
When me I go through my dark times and I see where the music inspire me so much, I feel confident in myself and pick myself up and keep moving and not giving up.
Yeah.
When I see the power of the music, I decide to say, yo, this is what I'm gonna do.
Take a tread in the hills like Tarzan, bring me problems to Jah. Yeah, man. And them one sword, them a go fall pan pan. I
present to that one.
Hey Carlton, what's up? Welcome to my corner office.
Definitely, Circus, definitely.
What are we doing today? Are you here to fix the plane or fly the plane?
Maybe a mixture of both, because as a top flight pilot, we can't do both of them.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Too clean for be a top flight pilot.
All right, we can get things dirty.
We can get it dirty.
A couple questions to ask you. My first question is, what types of genres of music do you listen to?
Oh, I love that.
I listen to all music. I mean, I must tell you. So, you know, I recently discovered Niji Boy. I've always listened to dancehall music and how it has evolved. I mean, I can't say I agree with every theme of the music, but it's good. If sometimes you don't hear the words and you just hear the beat, that's fine. But I do pay attention to it because it's a pulse of the people, and you have to hear what the people are saying. So clearly, that is always, you know, on my playlist. Roots rock reggae. You know, Bob Marley going right through. Clearly, so those are always on my list. I like, you know, alternative. I don't think they call it alternative these days, but yeah. It's very difficult now to put pop music into a genre because it's all, you know, mixed and collaborations and so forth. So pop music generally, yeah. And you know, our traditional music, mento. If you get a good album, it's good. Yes, sometimes I do listen to classical music. Yes. These days I don't. You know, that's a relaxed Sunday. Listen, yeah.
I think also on a relaxed Sunday you go to Sister Pat. I know you love the Lord is mine. And then guess what the Prime Minister does? He gives us a dip and then a turn.
What else do you want to ask?
Is your job of being a Prime Minister easy or difficult?
What do you think?
I think it's very difficult.
You're correct. But no, it's not an easy job. When you're Prime Minister, everybody's problem becomes your problem.
Yeah.
And if you're a Prime Minister that people believe can do stuff, then everything is going to be placed at your feet. So in a sense, your success becomes your own challenge, because people believe that you're not doing enough based upon what they think you can do and what you have achieved in the past. So I found it very amusing on social media. Somebody drops in a pothole and says, "Andrew, let's look at the pothole." Ultimately, yes, you're responsible. You have to make the policies work.
Yeah.
But then it goes to some other extremes, which might, you know, be ridiculous. But you get blamed for, you know, the price of glue for eyelashes or whatever it is. You see some strange things on social media. But the truth is, Caleb, that it is a difficult job. You can't please everyone, but you must be focused on what it is that you have set out to do and try to achieve those things whilst at the same time giving everyone a listening ear you won't be able to respond to everybody, but you must at least have the system in place to scan the environment, to hear what everybody is saying, and then you pick the sense out of whatever nonsense or whatever sense there is, and you move ahead with a strategy. And that is what leadership is. So everybody's going to say, I want this, this should be done, that should be done. And they're going to be powerful voices. You listen to everyone, and then you find a quiet place, and you make a decision. And once you've made a decision, that is what you're going to do. And that's leadership.
Excellent.
Well, Wisynco is now a mature Jamaican company, over 60 years old.
Yes.
And we have been constantly reinventing ourselves.
Yeah.
And in this round of our transformation, we are doing a massive, massive expansion. So if you come by our facility at Lakes Bend, you will see a brand new factory being built from Greenfield.
Noticed, yes.
We've also just added additional capacity to our sweet beverage plant and our water plant. So we need people to make this transformation come to life. We have some fantastic people already, and we want some more fantastic people to add to the fold.
So obviously you're going to make the call to the Ministry of Labour.
Yes.
Talk to us. I know you guys do job fairs all the time. First of all, for those who may not know, for whatever reason, what's the role of the Ministry of Labour?
So the Ministry of Labour has a very vast role. A lot of persons know us for the social security.
Yeah.
But in terms of labour, we are heavily invested in overseas and local employment, and this fits into our local employment. So the Ministry of Labour has partnered with Wisynco, because it's one thing to say you want workers, but you want the best quality workers. And that is what we provide through our customized job fairs.
And so entities, this is the thing that I love. Entities can come and say, look here, we want to put on a job fair. Help us. And you customize a job fair given the objectives that they're trying to achieve.
Right. So it's a tailor-made job fair. So we look at what are the skills that they're looking for, the talent that they need. So it's not just the aptitude, but the attitude. So we also do some of the job readiness training, and just to get the persons ready for work to hit the ground running. And that is what we're doing with Wisynco.
We have 29 locations across the 14 parishes of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Also, our yellow and blue building are used as landmark for persons that are given direction. So yeah, man, look for the yellow and blue building. Meet me right at Cell Courts.
Yeah.
And as well as the 29 stores also have our online platform, that's quartz.com, where persons can shop in the comfort of their own homes. Yes.
And one of the things I always looked forward to growing up with Quartz was what activity you're going to have announced in December. You know, I was talking about, you know, the year when it was Beanie Man and the Bima Mania and the this and the that. Every year it's something. So Quartz is really a part of the Jamaican culture. For me, Quartz is integral in becoming an adult. Because when you move out to your parents' house, you have to go to court. You have to go get a bed, you have to go get a wardrobe.
Do a little layaway on the school.
You know, you take time and pay off your things from court. It's just, it's a synonymous Jamaican company.
Well, Quartz is a home solution retailer. So we have our furniture, we have our appliances, we have major appliances and small appliances, as well as you can get electronic product at Quartz. So we have laptops, we have smartphones, we have tablets, as well as
all glasses.
Gaming.
All glasses.
Yes, with the nice frame. Yes. And because we're in 29, we have 29 stores across the 14 parishes. We also deliver everywhere. So every nook, every cranny, Quartz are going to deliver to you.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVMTV.
I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy John Mark Wigan, host on the show Holy Road. Listen, people need to know what's happening in the churches and in ministry in all of Jamaica. It's an absolute blessing. We're really excited to share this.
Tune in for CVM See It Happen.
staying with us. So time flies when good things are happening and when we are buzzing. Well, you know what time it is. It's time for final thoughts. So we're going to go straight to Dwight for final thoughts.
Thank you very much. Just to mention who an entomologist is.
Yes.
All right, so an entomologist is someone who studies insects. I know viewers may be out there saying, what's this crazy fellow here talking? Why would you study insects? Insects are just, what do you call it, one of the most diverse set of organisms. And usually, when you want to know the health of an ecosystem, you look at the diversity among the insects. And I know Raymond at one time was an entomologist as well. So, yeah, good company. And generally, in now there's this big buzz about citizen science.
Yeah.
And I know as an entomologist, I don't want to do it alone. We don't have to do it alone. It's to just invite you all, regardless of what profession you're in, to become a citizen scientist. I mean, your phone works very well. It helps us to determine what's happening, what populations are suffering, which ones are doing well, because when you stop seeing certain things, then we know they're not doing too well. And when you're seeing them, we know, okay, good, and you may guide us to somewhere where we need to go and see what's happening there, why is the population doing well, etc. And there are some things we want to learn because we want to teach that to you, so you can transform the space around you, make the space around you more diverse, more friendly. It should not all be concrete. Right? We need to ensure we have something natural for bees and for us to enjoy.
My final thought is just becoming conscious about these issues, about what the good doctor does here. And of course, not all bees are honey-making bees. So we only think about honey-making bees. There are the other species that do the important work of pollination and giving us all the other good things, not just honey, but all the other beautiful things. So just become conscious.
For me, my final thought is, well, first let me thank Dwight for coming in. And yes, I did entomology for a while, and I'm going to let you in on a secret. I didn't pursue it because I don't like roaches. Right? But they too tell us important signs about the ecosystem. So my final thought is, show of hands on social media. How many of you want to see Celine back into the beekeeping business?
Are you serious?
Online poll all day. That's a wrap for the round table today. Please enjoy the rest of your Monday and the rest of your week, Sunrisers, as you go forward.